Well, good morning. It's just coming off of the weekend, a long weekend. So took it easy. I spent a lot of time with the family, enjoying lots of treats, lots and lots of treats. Was able to try candy corn for the first time, and of course, right. I find it when I'm no longer eating sugar anymore. Wow, they're pretty good, especially the mixed bag with the different ones in there. It's pretty good. At least the maker that I tried. But I just thought I'd share the book. I just finished one book this weekend, Faith and Doubt by John Ortberg. Hold on, let me make sure on that. Yeah, John Ortberg. And so essentially, this is going to be super simple. I do recommend the book. He brings many, many great examples about faith and doubt and how they can strengthen each other in a positive way or in a negative way, but knowing the dangers, you can prevent them. He pushes pretty hard in the end for his own stance instead of just letting you come to your own decision. But the long story short is, based on all of the quotes, historically and even more contemporary, it seems some of my initial theories, my neophyte ideas of faith and doubt being, just two sides of a coin, and trust being the real important aspect. Right? In fact, Ortberg makes a mistake, and he talks about this gentleman who went to prison for, I believe, murder, killing someone. Don't quote me on that. I mean, there's a whole argument about the semantics of that. But he was on death row, and he became such a religious man, such a powerfully influential and inspiring religious man that supposedly the churches, the local congregations all around, that someone came and said, "Hey, who do I go to who has, you know, the main line to God, as it were, to Christ?" And so they'd send him to this guy, right? And as John Ortberg says, imagine being sent to death row for spiritual guidance. But as it has it, this gentleman was so impressive, had made such a recovery, both spiritually and, I guess you'd say, well, in every way, that they released him. Even commuted his sentence or whatever right, and he became some sort of a religious leader. But then, so they asked him. They said, "What power was this? New medication, therapy? What gave you this?" And he said, "It was the power of Jesus Christ." Right? And that's what John Ortberg says. Well, it was the power of Jesus Christ. And he tries to explain it in such a way that he's talking about the idea that because he was so influential, and I don't take that away from him, but again, he missed an opportunity to reaffirm his case that this is about trust. It's about faith, but faith, as it's defined in so many other languages, as commitment, as confidence, as devotion. So trust. So it wasn't the power of Christ that made this man, uh, change his life. Because again, it's even in the Bible, it says that belief in Christ is what will give you life everlasting, right? So it's not the power of Christ. It's this strength of faith. And we've seen it in so many other avenues that we've explored over the last 6 years. You can be Buddhist, Jainist, Vedanta, Shaivist, Christian, Jew, Sufi, Muslim, you name it. The power in religion, the power of the path that we follow comes from our devotion, our commitment. The healing comes from the same spot. trust, which, as I've said before, faith and trust often have a synonym with faith, right? It's hard to separate if you're acting in good faith. Funny how there happens to be that expression that you will operate with trust, with commitment, with devotion. And without that trust, right? What is faith without works, as what is it, James says? Exactly. And that work can be as simple as commitment, devotion, and confidence in whatever path you're following. If it's being a charitable person, if it's being a good economist or an engineer, or devoting some of your extra time to a charity, or it could be as simple and as obviously selfish, or maybe not as obviously selfish, as to, in your downtime, to truly commit yourself to, say, coloring as a mindful exercise. Because arguably, in truth, if you reduce your stress, improve your health, you can bring more into the universe, right? How can you love thy neighbor as you love your own self if you don't maintain and care for your own temple? But I thought I'd just share that overall, the entire book of Faith and Doubt by John Ortberg, is it? Let me double check that. Pardon my horrible memory once again. Yeah, John Ortberg. Faith really is trust. That's what it's about. That's why it's powerful. It's because you believe in something. That's what that whole expression of 2 and 2 equals 4, but sometimes 2 and 2 must equal 5. It's the gestalt of being, the fact that we are more than the sum of our parts. We create more than we give ourselves credit as being possible to do. We hobble ourselves with our lack of faith in ourselves. And so faith in something beyond our understanding, call it the occult, call it supernatural, call it God, doesn't matter. It's something beyond our understanding, beyond our comprehension, beyond our experience, maybe as of yet or indefinitely. But the truth is, there is no external power, really, truly, because the power of faith, confidence, commitment, devotion is an internal light, an internal fire that gives us faith. Trust is as much a part of our logic and reason as it is our passion. So when we maybe turn our back on devotion to what we really do follow and what we do really do devote ourselves to, if we're only half committed, as I've said before, that only denatures ourselves and turns a beneficial ritual practice into a hollow, wasted effort, which may actually, as St. John of the Cross said, it's this disconnection, right? We misunderstand. We don't feel that disconnection from our source when we occupy ourselves with empty rituals. But as St. John said, we're never closer to God than when we feel that disconnection, right? So your meaning, your value, your creation, yourself, know thyself. You're never closer to who or what you're trying to seek than when you feel that disconnection. right? As St. John said in The Obscure Night of the Soul, he said, these things are not understood when sought. They're only understood when found and practiced. And that's the beauty of being told that you don't have to believe, but practice with devotion and commitment and confidence. And from that will flow the same benefit. You don't have to change your level of belief, but if you change your level of commitment, everything will change.